Well, I'm Jim Seals, and I was talking to Emily. And we talk a lot about in lessons about life and about people. One thing I've learned that stuck with me is everybody has a story. And my story was I had wanted to be an English teacher since I was 10 years old. I had an inspirational English teacher that just made me focus on teaching, and had a scholarship to college. And I always played. My father played, and playing was just kind of a distraction I did, is playing guitar. And it was back in those days, it was kind of cool. You could get girls and you could play at dances, and it was just a cool thing to do. But it wasn't my focus. And when I was in college, I played a couple days a week. When I would have graduated, which would have been in 1974, the starting pay for an English teacher was like $18,000 a year, and I was making $24,000 and $25,000 a year just playing a couple nights a week. But I thought, I'm just going to try, and then I'll come back to teach English. And so I did, and I worked really, really hard. But we were very fortunate. We had like 16 #1 records, and we had a couple Grammys and CMAs, and got some gold albums, and I got to travel all over the world. I never really felt quite fulfilled doing that. I was very blessed and very fortunate to be able to do that. And believe me, there were many times along the way that I'd be laying in the bunk of my tour bus in Nebraska or something, and be so cold and so lonely. I went, man, I could be teaching English right now. I kept coming back to that. So that lasted about 25 years. And then I had a chance. My wife manages a music store here in town in Muscle Shoals, the biggest one here. And I had a chance through some health issues to maybe kind of retire a little bit from the music business and from touring. And it turned out to be just a wonderful thing. I thought, I can't go back to school at my age. I was probably in my mid-50s then, and teach English, but I can't teach. I can teach the only thing that I really know much about anymore, and that's guitar. And so I started out, and it just was so rewarding, and I was overwhelmed with students. And it was obvious that I had a rapport on the teaching end. It was something I had missed most of my life. So it kind of came full circle for me. The one-on-one thing I get from my students, which is just a godsend for me to be able to sit across from a student, whether they're a young student or a 75-year-old man, and convey knowledge to them. That's why I wanted to teach to begin with. So it's a great feeling to give that to somebody and see that light go off in their eye. And they go, oh yeah, I get that. Because when I leave this planet, I'll have planted some seeds, and out of those thousands of students, maybe a handful of them will play the rest of their life, and maybe a few of those will make it a career. And that's a cool thing. Most people don't get that kind of a legacy to pass on, so I'm very, very honored to have that.